Hey everybody, so welcome to our live stream with Ronnie Paul here. I'm going to introduce him a little bit to us, but let me just pull up the stream here on my Facebook on my iPad so I can see your questions and all. And as you've got questions, I'm going to be just reading them straight off the iPad. So let me just do that. Give me 1 second here. What's going on? Well, Ronnie, who are you, mate?
Surviving in hot summer Texas.
So, Ronnie Paul is the oldest and, we usually say best looking. So.
Oh, well, the oldest of Dr. Paul's 5 kids. And by definition, the oldest is the tallest, the smartest, that runs the fastest, jumps the highest, best looking, plays the best golf. By definition, the oldest gets that title.
So, that's great. So, Rand Paul's brother, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure that we've got you on video before. When was the last time when you spoke at the rally for your dad, or you've done some things since then?
A few things I can't remember. More than I can remember, but not very many that it was too many to count.
So, we're going to hear a lot more from Ronnie over these next forever. And Ronnie has a lot to say, and Ronnie and I have been in business together for almost 4 years now. And
October,
end of October. And we're going to talk to you about that here today. This is something we're very passionate about. I think most of you that are tuning into this know that we're here to talk about the network marketing business that we're in, and some of the family connections to the Paul family. And I know that this guy is so stinking passionate about our products. It's not funny. He just cannot shut up. So he was kind of like, we need to get over to another function here and actually hang out with Ron Paul and Carol Paul and some other family members. But I know that he loves to talk. So we'll see if we can get out of here in any great hurry. So why don't you kind of start off by telling us how did you get involved in ICJ? What happened there? Doug Weed obviously contacted you, and how come you said yes? You want to hold this, or you just want me to?
We can try whatever works.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot my handheld. So
How do we know that they're hearing us?
Oh,
We just have to assume, huh?
we have to assume. Well, there's a lot of people watching us right now.
Oh, yeah?
That's awesome.
Okay. All right.
Well, Ronnie, who are you, mate?
So we're watching on tape delay, huh?
So, yeah, there's a little bit of a delay there.
Yeah. Okay.
Holy cow, look at all the questions coming in. All right, so there's a lot of political questions here, Ronnie.
Political questions.
Political, like ask him about Gary Johnson.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he wants to answer that, but we're here to talk specifically about what we're doing in business. But
I like to talk about health because, as my dad has always been well known to be healthy, and I have some of those genes. I also like to talk politics, but I talk much more generally. I was telling Israel earlier, my politics can be summed up real quick. The Federal Reserve is the root cause of the problems, and in lieu of that, you've got to maintain private property rights. So when you start looking about what you're going to do, without those two, I mean, getting rid of the Fed's going to be hard, but we can fight every day for maintaining private property rights. That includes business rights. So it's their private property. So go from there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about health.
All right.
Growing up, all of us kids did lots of sports. My dad would show up and he'd watch us. He'd have a book to read, but he'd come watch. But I actually swam all the way through college. So I was extreme into swimming, but I played all the sports. Now I like golf because it's a little slower, but I still work out 4 days a week. And, I worked for Dow in the chemical industry for almost 30 years. I didn't really have a good routine of exercise. So when I retired from Dow about 7 years ago, I started a very serious exercise program. And I lost about 5 pounds over 3 years. I was working hard. And then Doug called up and said, hey, I got this opportunity. So I said, okay, I'm game. You know, my dad took lots of vitamins. I was taking a single multivitamin at that time. That's really all I was doing. And so I got started on isogenics, and I basically replaced one meal with an isogenics meal. And it was almost like a miracle. You know, for about 2 weeks, I'm kind of going, there's something weird going on, you know. And then, but, you know, long story short, 3 or 4 months later, I had actually dropped about 20 pounds. And so I started off in pretty good shape, working hard, and just like, you know, some of the stories they say, I just can't get rid of this fat. But I lost 20 pounds and like 2 inches around my waist. All my pants wouldn't fit. I'd start wearing belts.
Wow.
And so it was rather dramatic. And people go, oh, that's because you work out. Well, I was working out. I was working hard. And it was purely the diet change that made a difference. And if somebody had said to me before I started, oh, you're going to lose 20 pounds, I'd have said, big deal. I didn't think that much of it. But when I look back and I think about carrying 2 10-pound weights with me, which I had done for 10 years prior, you know, I can't imagine that now.
Right.
I mean, just the stress as you get older, and I'm not getting older, but a little bit. That extra 20 pounds on my knees and ankles and, you know, heart, everything is just, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
To think how good I feel. And especially now that I've lost weight, I have one isogenics meal a day. You know, I don't eat crummy, but if everybody's going to Tex-Mex tonight, I'm in. You know, so I don't worry about counting my calories. But I do eat decent. But I do have an isogenics meal every day.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I'm traveling and can't get a shake, I'll have a meal bar. You know, I love a meal bar. To me, works very good for a meal.
Right.
So the variety of meal bars, the variety of shakes, the combination of the two, to me, creates plenty of variety to maintain the good quality protein that is needed. And I always like the, you know, when you hit age 50, to maintain muscle mass, a male needs twice the protein that a male at 25 does. Did you know that?
I did, but I haven't thought about that for a long time. And
you know, so it's very important that you get the protein.
yeah.
And you know, I like to tell people, you can go to Walmart and get protein, but it's going to be soy, and it's not the same thing.
Or if it's whey, you just don't, you know, most of it's from China. Or
Right.
You know.
You know, so to me, the thing about isogenics that is the core secret is the undenatured whey protein.
Yeah.
Undenatured whey protein. No chemicals, no heat, gets to all the amino acids. That's the other thing. If you're looking at other products, almost every one of them adds amino acids back in.
Yep.
They all have to add it back in.
Yeah.
So, and of course, I like their vitamins too. I mean, the vitamins are a mixed bag. You know, I've got a lot of doctors in my family, and half of them swear by vitamins, and the other half, it's foo-foo. But I like them, and even within my own daughters, you know, one daughter says yes, one says no. You know, my dad says yes. You know, it just varies.
Your dad takes a lot of supplements.
My dad does all the vitamins, yeah. So, but the isogenics vitamins, again, are a different step than the vitamins that you buy in a store because they're all natural, no synthetic.
Yeah.
So you get much higher absorption. You know, the numbers are all over the map, but basically it's significant more absorption of the natural vitamins than you do with the synthetic ones. So,
you know how we source our CoQ10 for those?
how's that?
The discoverer of CoQ10, he got a little upset that most of the CoQ10 that's on the supermarket shelf is junk. So we actually get certified CoQ10 from him.
Yeah.
And he claims that it has 1,200% more bioavailability than what you'll find on the supermarket shelf. So we don't cut corners.
Yeah, the product, like I said, for me, it's just phenomenal. I mean, it's my biggest fear if we have a big economic crash and the world crumbles down is how am I going to get my vitamins in my shakes? So, you know, we got to make sure we keep this country going enough to make sure we can keep isogenics going so I have my vitamin shakes. But the other thing about isogenics pretty neat that I find interesting is you know, they have the energy and performance for people who are serious about bodybuilding or running marathons, or you know, they're maybe younger.
You've
maybe
told me
younger.
For years how much it's improved your golf game.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
Yeah, and actually I do that same thing. But also there's the weight loss, and then there's the aging support. So there's a lot of different families of people that can be attracted to it for whatever. I mean, there's always something that'll match up with you. So you don't have to be, you know, like me and old and energetic to have a good success with it.
Right.
But and what did you want to talk about?
Your golf game.
Oh, my golf game.
How it improve your golf game, and I'm still puzzled by
Yeah.
how it can improve your golf game. But I'll let you tell the story.
when we get out on the first hole, the guys are all about the same age, and they're going, "Oh, I got to wait for my drugs to kick in and all this stuff." And I get up every morning. I do about a 10-15 minute stretching routine, and when I get to the course, I feel good. My excuse for poor golf, unfortunately, is not that I feel bad, or that I have aching pains, or that I'm not in good shape. I can go walk 18 holes of golf and come home and work in the yard. I mean, it's amazing how good I feel. Like I said, the other guys I play with, they got a lot of aches and pains, and no question in my mind that it's my overall health, it's losing a little bit of weight, and I couldn't do it without isogenics. Because, like I said, I did the work.
So how old are you now, Ronnie?
57.
57.
57.
And you've been taking these products for almost 4 years now.
Yeah, we'll be 4 years in October.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, say, well, you do it for a while, and a lot of these fads come along, and people get into it, and then they quit. I've been able to, I guess, honestly, the first 3 or 4 months, I might have done 2 meals for quite a few days to really get the program going. But 1 meal a day is all I have to do now.
Well, I mean, I've already had 3 today. You just made me that third one I just had with the banana in it. But
yeah, you stole one of my shakes.
I live on the stuff. I mean, it's just this is superfood. These are not diet shakes. This is complete, solid, clean food. And,
I always like that when somebody comes in, they start reading the ingredients. Well, there's sugar in this. This isn't any good. Yep, there is sugar in this because, believe it or not, you need sugar.
Yeah, you need a little bit.
You need some carbs, you need sugar, you need protein. You need all the different pieces of it.
Yeah. Let me grab that for 1 second because I want to give a shout out to all you people in here. I like to do that. There's so many of you here. So to Andreas and Tony and Claire and Tyson, it says, and 4 other people. Grant, Nathan, Van, Joe, Emily, Lauren, Jeremiah, Katrina, Taylor, Adrian, James, Dial. Hey, Dial. Love to see you guys on our stream live. That's really cool. We hope you really get something out of this. Now, I guess one of the main reasons that I came down here to talk with Ronnie is because after doing this for almost 4 years now, and you haven't really been focused on the business, but you did make some money straight up. So why don't you tell us about that? And, Ronnie now wants to really focus on the business side of things. And that's really why we're coming to you now. We want to really encourage people in the Liberty Movement to really get involved. And you've, no doubt seen what I've been talking about and trying to get libertarian activists to join us so that we can build businesses underneath them and get funds into their pockets so they can be full-time activists. But let's talk about your own personal experiences with the money. Let me give you this back here. Tell us how much you made in your first year.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Yeah, my first year, I worked at it a little bit harder, but it was new, and quite frankly, some of the bonus incentives are very upfront loaded, and I actually made $10,000 first year.
Wow.
Yeah. I had
that's a lot of money.
I had 5 consultants on one side and 1 on the other, which is
That's what we call director.
A crystal director.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say it wasn't hard, but it wasn't like, I was, I didn't have to lift a sledgehammer and sweat a lot. But you do have to contact some people. And
You gotta do work.
but to me, the easy part is the product was easy to sell.
Mm-hmm.
I know Israel keeps coaching me, oh, no, we're not selling, we're not doing it. But in a sense, we have a product that it's kind of like a no-brainer.
Mm.
I
I like to say this, Ronnie. The product sells itself, so let it. Right? We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Just get someone to try the product. Once they've been on the product for 3 or 4 days, they're in. That's all there is to it. I've never had anyone I've personally enrolled return their product. So
yeah, the product is mind-blowing. And actually, one of my brothers who's a family doctor, he says you can literally change your metabolism.
Mm.
So by eating the good protein and being part of the program, the detoxing, you got to have that cleanse every now and then, just
to do it when I get back.
just to put that energy boost back in you.
Yeah.
To me, the cleanse was what. If you're ever sluggish in the afternoon, that a cleanse solves that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, my brother, who's a family doctor, says you truly can change your metabolism, and I'm not sure, but I think I eat more desserts now than I did before I was Isogenics healthy.
Yeah, well,
Because the
if you have more
metabolism
lean
handles
muscle,
it.
That's
It's
it.
because the
you know?
metabolism handles it now. But
So this is one of the things we focus on with these products, right? Now, what I'm about to tell you is not something Isogenics talks about, but this is just my own evaluation. And if you want to help someone lose weight, there's four main things you need to do. You need to put nutrition into their body. Everybody out there that's not currently taking supplements of some kind is deficient in some area. I have a friend who just started in Washington, D.C., and she never saw any weight loss. And I told her, looking at her diet, you're deficient. Wait until we've covered the deficiencies, and then you'll start to lose weight. Well, I got a message from her this morning, 6 weeks after she started, which is the exact time I told her. Now she's losing weight. So if you've tried to lose weight, you've got to get the nutrition in your body. You're going to have deficiencies, particularly in glutathione. If you have a glutathione deficiency, life's going to be hard for you. The other one is stress. We've got to deal with the stress. That's what the Ionic Supreme is all about.
I love it.
So then toxins, we've got to deal with the toxic buildup in our body because our fat cells envelop toxins and they won't shrink until we can get the toxins out of the fat cell. And the fourth thing, going back to what you're talking about with metabolism, is muscle, right? So as we lift the muscle content of your body, we raise your basal metabolic rate. That's the amount of energy that Ronnie's consuming right now just by sitting here, right? It's your basal metabolic rate.
I'm burning it.
And if we can lift that by 200 or 300 calories a day, that gives you an amazing window. That means you can plow down more desserts and not gain weight.
Yeah. No, it is. It's really interesting that you lose weight, but you also, I'm 100% convinced I'm stronger and in better shape. And I mentioned earlier that I swam all through college, so I still swim twice a week.
Really?
And then I do 2 dry land workouts a week, a little circuit training that I do.
Huh.
And the thing about swimming is I know, like, down to the half a second for every 2 lengths, 1 second in 100. I know the details. And when the Isogenics came along and I started doing that, I actually got faster.
Wow.
And I've been able to maintain it. But I have such a feel. I know exactly what I'm doing every 100 yards, what my time is, even if I don't stop and look at the clock.
Huh.
And there's no question I couldn't do what I'm doing at the pool right now without Isogenics.
It's incredible.
I mean, it is. I could talk about it for a long time because the product is mind-boggling. It really does change your way. But you
want me
can't.
to hold that?
I got it. All right. That's just bothering you what I'm doing here. I'm playing with it.
Yeah, I just don't want that. I don't know if it's coming through. I don't want it to rattle on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I could cheat, but I don't like to cheat. You could say I'm taking a shake a day and then go eat a hamburger at lunch and a chicken fried steak at dinner, and that ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So I don't eat crummy, but when the party goes out to eat crummy, I can do it. So it allows me to not worry about it.
Are we going to eat crummy over here later?
Probably. It's probably hamburgers. Yeah. But I'm gonna make Israel eat a hamburger.
I don't mind a hamburger.
Yeah. But
especially homemade one by Carol.
Yeah. But no, it's like I said, go on like the Ionic Supreme is great stuff. I mentioned the meal bars. There's 6 different meal bars. If I'm on the go, got a daughter in New York at school, and we'll take a plane up there, and you're stuck on a plane or stuck at an airport. The last thing you want to do is get a meal at the airport.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a meal bar, and it's so convenient. The vitamins come prepackaged, so I have all my vitamins with me. I don't have to get a whole bunch of bags. I just grab 4 or 5 packets, and for however many days I'm gone.
So convenient.
So the convenience is there, the quality is there. It's just more than I can. I get excited about it because it is. And then, of course, it is nice. I always say, I haven't worked as hard at the business as I could have or should have. I want to do a little more because I'm getting a little bit older, and I want to get more time off, and I want to play more golf.
Mm-hmm.
So I need a little bit more on that card each month.
So talk to us about that. Well, you're already making money on your card still.
Right.
But you haven't done anything for years.
I've got, mostly family, a few non-family members that who really just get in. I got a college roommate, and they just they buy the vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
They love the vitamins. He and his wife take the vitamins religiously. Mm-hmm. They buy the vitamins every month. Comes in the mail every month.
Right.
It's got some that love the shakes. We keep them in the office. Our office likes to drink the shakes.
So tell me, what's the appeal of now starting to focus more on isogenics than your traditional business you've been doing a long time?
The business I'm in is a water utility,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a private water utility. It's just like the city water company. We're on call 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yesterday when you called me and said you were going to be out of here, I was on the way to check a leak.
Mm.
So on Saturday afternoon, I'm out checking the business. So this is a little nicer if you can talk about being healthy, which I love to talk about, and make money at it. I mean, that's pretty nice.
Right. Right. So the income opportunity that we have here is pretty amazing. I mean, you've seen some people make some really big money in your time in the business, but you did 10,000 your first year. So, what are you looking to do now? Do you know?
Israel says I should shoot for 250 grand a year. 100 grand is probably enough for me to retire on. I don't think I can spend 100 on golf a year. But there is some pretty nice equipment out there that I could buy. I could have the best equipment in the bag. I'd buy all the new drivers as they come out. But
Yeah.
well, or I could travel. Some of these golf courses are pretty expensive to play. I don't play them now because I don't have that money. So
You could go play Trump's golf courses.
Rand played with Trump, and
Did he really?
Yeah, this was before Trump decided to run for president. So he and Trump played, and Trump helped him with his swing, and he was okay with the ordeal. But obviously now they don't talk a whole lot. But
Really?
this is a good story. We'll talk politics for a
Didn't he
second.
just endorse Rand's competitor?
Yeah, no,
No, didn't he?
no,
Are you
no,
sure?
no. He endorsed McCain and Ryan.
Well,
But he didn't endorse
He
Rand.
hasn't endorsed Rand.
No, Rand's competitor's a Democrat. He won't do that.
Oh, I see.
He won't do that.
All right.
But no, it was
But he still refuses
the
to
reason.
endorse Rand.
All y'all probably wanted Rand to be president because he's got good ideas and kind of believed in the same liberty that we all believe in. No, he does believe in the same liberty. Everybody has a different path. That's a different subject. But I wanted him to become president because all the grief Obama gets for taking off and playing golf when he should be working. I was going to be Rand's throwdown guy. So every time somebody had to play golf, somebody comes in, they got to play golf, some significant
Go play with
person.
Ronnie.
I was going to be the guy. I was going to go play
Well,
golf
you'd
with
like
him.
that.
I was going to go play golf, and I'll go play all these fancy courses, with all the dignitaries,
state.
and let Rand stay there and be president.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't catch all the grief.
So
all the
Rand
flack.
doesn't like golf?
No, he loves golf. He
Oh.
he probably wouldn't let me do it, but that was my offer. That was my offer. I was gonna take the heat for him.
I see, yeah.
But he does. He likes to play golf, and he's clearly, the second best of the five of us, without a doubt. But in all, I do have to give him this credit though. He has been working a little bit harder at saving the world than I have lately. He does. He has the same obsession my dad has of not wasting time, and everybody wonders why did he quit? Well, because he saw the writing on the wall. Trump took over the media. Trump took over all the discussions, and he wasn't into wasting his time. And it's not a bad idea. He's back in the Senate, and he'll keep the Senate stirred up.
No.
He's doing a lot of good things back there. As a senator, you have a lot of power to influence the country. So people worry about why did he quit? He could have done this. But his point is, same as my dad's, we have a problem.
Okay.
How do we fix it? What can I do? What's my role to fix it?
Let me jump back to something you said. 'Cause
Okay.
we weren't going to talk politics.
We're not
but-
talking politics. We're talking health. Health.
but let's actually just address the issue you said we should just skip over, because I already know the answer to this because we've talked about it many times. But a lot of people think Rand is not Ron. You'll say that the apple fell far from the tree. What you just said is important though, about the fact that they both have the same end goal. Why don't you just spend 2 minutes explaining that to people? Because
It's actually
people need to hear that.
It's actually part of the speech when I actually have to give a speech that I give, and that is, if we're all sitting here in one location and we're going to go to another location on the other side of town, we got the same goal. We're all going to that same place, but we may have 50 different ways we go. Mm-hmm. Some of them may be better, some of them may be not. I'm going to say you got to go Smith Street, and you're going to say we got to go Jones Street. It's a debate, but we're going to the same place. There's no question in my mind Rand's vision of what the world should look like, what the government role should be. You couldn't find a difference between him and my dad and myself. Now, what should we do today to get there the fastest? We got debates all over the map. Every one of y'all probably has a way to do it. You know, some are absolute. There's only one way, and that is no exceptions. Well, I know that turns off some people, and some people say, man, that's the only way. I don't know what the right way is. If I knew the right way, I'd tell everybody, hey, this is the right way. It's this way. You know, Rand believes that you got to sway a few people. You got to be in office, and there's a point to that. If you're not in office, you don't have much. By him staying in office, let's say, hope it doesn't happen, that the stuff crumbles tomorrow, and the Senate's up there trying to figure out what kind of government to put in place. If he's not there, if Justin Amash is not there, what's going to happen? They're all going to sit there and say, well, how big a government are we going to build to take care of everybody?
Right.
So when chaos hits, or whatever form it comes in, there's got to be enough people at the table, there's got to be enough people in the public to say, we need private property rights.
Right.
We need individual liberties. We don't need a government trying to control a whole bunch of things that they don't know how to control.
Right.
I run into a lot of people in the education world, and they just, you know, if you've ever taught a class of 20 kids or coached a little league team of 10 or 12, every single person in your classroom, everybody on your team, everybody in your organization has to be treated a little different. Mm-hmm. In your isogenics business, can you treat every one of us the same?
No, not at
Some
all.
of them need a lot of coaching. Some of them need to get out of the way. Everything's so to think about. A few people in Washington, D.C. can sit down in the Department of Education and write down a curriculum that matches every single person in the country. It's just insane. It doesn't even make, you couldn't get anybody to convince that who just taught philosophy and argued just the philosophy of that. Mm-hmm. Doesn't make sense. So Rand believes that same thing. My dad believes the same thing. How do you get there the best way? I don't know. I couldn't tell you the way. I couldn't tell you. Does Rand do it the way I would do it every day? No, there's certain things that I probably wouldn't do. I might go more direct, but it's real easy to do that when you're here. But when you're standing there facing a crowd and you say, you know, folks, we really shouldn't be giving these countries money that hate us.
Yep.
You know, if you can get that bought into, it's a lot easier to say, well, you know, if you really get down to it, none of the countries like us, so why we give any of them? Rand doesn't want to give any of them money. Mm-hmm. But he can't say that because then he sounds like my dad, and my dad was this extremist that nobody in a practical sense can't ever have Ron Paul's world. It's not practical. It is practical. 100% believe it's practical. It's the only success. We've had the closest country ever to that world, and we've been the most successful.
Yes.
Rand's 100% behind that vision. His method's a little different. I can't argue against it. He's a senator.
Method is different. End goal exactly the same.
Right. He's a U.S. senator. He's a U.S. senator. He's got the ability to influence it more than any of us right now.
Yeah.
But we all have to be prepared when it comes.
Right. It's cool.
Take your vitamins, isogenic shakes.
So you know there is an opportunity here for all of us to link arms together and do something. I know that in the liberty movement, so many of us are skeptical, and some of us are even cynical, and cynicism isn't healthy. It doesn't serve us. So let me explain the difference if you don't know. A skeptic is going to come back to us with questions. So what about this? What about that? Prove this to me, prove that to me. But a cynic says, that's a this and that, and you know, no, I don't want to hear about it. I already know what it is, right? That their mind is made up. Don't be a cynic, be a skeptic. Find out.
I'll tell you a story about Israel. Some of you all probably don't remember this. Some of you may have been around. But when we first got started in isogenics, Israel was a skeptic, and so he did a video and he did a cleanse on video, and he goes, "I'm going to do this right here on camera. If I like it, I'll tell you. If I don't like it, I'll tell you." And it was real fun to watch you do your cleanse day and take your little drinks, and you're going, this isn't bad. And you know, almost every diet out there talks about cleanse days, and some of them are just fat, starve yourself for a day or two. But Isogenics has a product that you take during the day, which alleviates your hunger. It still gives you the nutrition that you need, while it's allowing your body to go burn that excess fat and detox. So right. The program is complete. It's got all the ingredients there. It's got the balance. You don't have to think anymore. It's just follow their guidance. The program works. I mean, it's quality.
So the majority of these people are libertarians, and I know all of you are, and so thank you for those that are, you know, putting up with us talking about politics a little. I don't really care what your politics are if you want to be helped in your health by this, or you want to build a business, we'd love to support you. But specifically to the liberty-minded people out there, why should they get behind this? Why should they join us in this?
Well, it is a unique opportunity. That is a business that it takes time, but you can build it over time. But it gives you a little bit of control of your time.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you end up being somebody who wants to ride, or you want to be somebody who wants to get involved in some of your local politics. Interesting story I met on the campaign trail. The guy was a city council in a little town in Iowa, and he'd already saved them like $1 million in their budget by doing some things that made sense. But he was working on outlawing licensing in his city.
Wow.
I was going, man, that is the neatest story. So
That's
my
really
point
awesome.
being is, do isogenics, make you a little money, run for city council, outlaw licensing in your town. You know, you're doing, I mean, that to me is,
Yeah.
licensing is absolute control of small business. Licensing only purpose is to support big business and kill private property rights. I mean, think about it. Why should I not be allowed to hire Israel to come fix a pipe in my house? If he can, but in the cities, you have to have a license, you have to have a permit, and basically you pay a fee every time you work on somebody's house. So it's all part of gathering money. But like I said, this individual story, to me, is one of the neatest stories I've come across in the campaign trail. Was he was a city council member, and he was working on getting his city to outlaw licensing.
I think that's terrific.
So there's a lot of things you can do with the extra time, and in the meantime, be prepared for whatever big things happen by being a liberty activist person, maintaining your knowledge and increasing your skills in delivering the message of liberty.
Now that's
and
a big
isogenics,
point. Let's come back to that.
And isogenics, I think, can provide that opportunity to make. You can pick a number, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. You know, you can get by on some of those numbers, or supplement what you're doing, and work on outlawing licensing as a city council member.
Yep, absolutely. Now, what was I going to come back to?
I don't know.
I forgot.
I talked past. I just went on and dominated the conversation.
But the time freedom is a big deal. You know, the ability to be able to travel around and be a full-time libertarian activist like I am is only because of isogenics. And for all of our critics, well, are you a full-time activist? Are you getting out there and trying to spread the message on a near daily basis to people? You know, this is the freedom that it gives us to be able to do things like that. You get to choose what you do with your day. I mean, we had a choice of doing this today or tomorrow. You're a small business owner, so you're going to be in your office, your private office. A big storm coming over by the sounds of things.
We hope so. We need some rain.
And yeah, I can tell. It's so humid here. It's ridiculous. But on a Monday, I was available too. And, you know, the majority of people aren't. And so that's what the time.
Yeah, I told him he'd come to my office and while I'm working, talk to me. But this is a little easier.
This is a lot better. Yeah. So we're on. Why don't you? People are probably wondering where we are.
We're sitting in my backyard. I don't know if y'all saw the flood picture on my house. It's on the other side of the house from where we're sitting. But and then across the slough down there that flooded is my parents' house, and that's where we're going to go. Mm-hmm. I'm getting close to ready to eat again. I had my shake at 10 o'clock, so I had mine a little earlier.
So you have an opportunity here to join us, and what I'm looking for are people that really want to work one-on-one with Ronnie Paul. And can you do that? Yeah, absolutely. So reach out to me, and we'll plug you directly into Ronnie Paul's Isogenics account. He will be your sponsor, and so not mine, but his. If you want to be mine,
yeah, we can talk isogenics and health, and every now and then we can talk politics, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to start doing regular conference calls probably every few weeks. Ronnie's going to come on and have a chat to everybody that's in our Liberty Business Network. And you've probably seen that I created the pages for the Liberty Business Network years ago. And I think there's almost 900 people on that Facebook page. And we also have a private group for people, for the libertarians that are in Isogenics. And we communicate there. But my recommendation is to do your due diligence, to investigate Isogenics thoroughly, and then jump in and come join us, because this is, I mean, you're just not going to find fault with it. And you can make some money, you can get your time freedom, and then you can start living life on your terms. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Anybody listening to us today?
Yeah, we got a lot. We got 23 people watching us live right now.
23. Wow.
And we've got so many people that have dropped in, and it's just fantastic.
23 friends between us. We have 23 friends between us.
Well, there's 23 people watching. Hopefully, we got a little more than that. No, there's 23 people watching us live. But
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Well, let's go eat.
let's go eat. Well, what should we end up with? Let's yeah. What's your final reason on why people should jump in and join us?
The bottom line to me is health.
Yeah.
You know, I've worked with off and on at different degrees, but in every single circumstance, the ability to be healthier. You know, people talk about the money, and you know, if somebody said if you would just spend $200 a month and you'll be healthier and live longer, I mean, how many people would not do that? Even if you didn't make money back.
Right.
So here's an opportunity where you not only can get your health, but you can make some money at it.
Yeah. You eat your own overhead.
Yeah, and so it's just like I said, the health part of it is the part that just, you know, that's what gets me going is how healthy you can be, and with the right food.
Absolutely. Wow, there's the cicadas singing us out, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over and visit with Ron and Carol Paul and get some burgers.
Maybe. I'm not sure what it is, but it'll be my guess.
Okay.
Maybe some barbecue. I don't know.
Oh.
We'll find out.
Well, we're just talking about barbecue. I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
some barbecue right
Yeah,
now.
just have to see.
All right. So thank you all very much for watching us. You know, we're going to try to do these live streams every few months. So look out for them. I'm not always down in the area. I'm in Tyler right now, which is about 4.5 hours away from here. So I drove down this morning. But we're gonna try to make it a point to come down, and when you plug in, we really encourage you to get along to some of the training events at Isogenics. We have one that
That's Peggy's donkeys.
should we go? You know what? We should go show them. Let's go. We'll do that.
There's just one over there, and all the rest of them are out in the field.
We'll go
My
over and take a
wife,
look
my
at
wife, and my youngest daughter love animals. Are we still online?
Yeah, we're still alive.
You know, they love animals, and you know, so I'll run into somebody I haven't seen in a while, and they said, "Ronnie, you still got all those animals?" I said, "I don't have any animals, but my wife and daughter still have all those animals." But
I remember now. I remember.
Okay.
I remember what we were going to talk about, and that was probably one of the most important factors for all of us in the Liberty Movement. Most of us are introverts. There's a few of us like me that are extroverts, but the majority of people, the majority of the guys in the Liberty Movement are introverts. And we don't know how to communicate. And the one thing that you were talking about before that Isogenics is going to help you with is we're going to teach you how to communicate. We're going to open the door to the world for you. You're going to learn how to connect with people, how to instantly build rapport and trust and create that connection and create real relationships. So the skills you learn in building a business with us are going to apply to every area of your life. And that's, you know, if you're a single libertarian, you know, these skills are really, really going to help you. If you want to be a tremendous activist, an activist that knows how to listen to people, seek to understand what the person is saying, and then be able to explain the philosophy of liberty clearly and succinctly, this business will actually help you to do just that. So I think that's one of the major upsides of this business. You learn how to communicate, because that's what this business is all about. It's about communicating with other people. It's not about selling. It's about building relationships with people. So, well, let's, you know, he's got some crazy animals over here. So let me grab this.
Miniature donkeys.
Okay, and I'm going to grab the phone. I'm just going to pick up the whole tripod here. Okay. All right, let's walk over here. I'll follow you over. Actually, you know what? Grab the mic, because you can kind of narrate what we're looking at over there.
All right, we're going to see Kojak. He's our herd sire. He lives by himself because, well, you know what a jack is. It's real funny. When he's by himself, he's like a puppy dog. You put a Jenny or a female donkey in with him, and there ain't 10 of us that can hold him. But here he is. He's right here. Friendly as can be. See? Say hi to the camera, Kojak. Say hi, Kojak. Tell him hi.
Hello. Tiagi is going to go crazy when she smells my hands.
Yeah. But like now, you walk in there and he has no problems with you. When our youngest was 4 was when we got him, and she would go in there and just hang out with him, walk around with him. Yeah.
So whose are these? These are yours?
Yeah, there are. Yeah, we've had them. Like I say they're Peggy's and Linda's, but they're ours. Actually, I found a good use for them. Little side note. I don't know if you can see over there. All the way across. Let's step over here. Let's see if you can see it. Finally found a good purpose for them. But if you look through the fence, you can see the mounds of the manure. Makes the best compost in the world. That makes me have the best garden in the neighborhood, which my dad and I compete to see who has the best garden. But he also steals some of my compost, so so his garden's improving. But Peggy had all these animals forever, and I never liked it. But now I found a purpose for them. So now we scrape the pens and pile it up and make good compost.
All right. When do you say goodbye to everybody, Ronnie?
Goodbye to everybody, Ronnie.